Good, I'm fine. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine. I don't know what it says. It went to 4:35. Okay, no, I don't know how I said that. I said now. Well, anyway, we're starting now because I know not no 4:35. But I'm sorry, I apologize. But I said the time again. So anyway, living in the now. Check out my nose. I got blow nose again. Excuse me. My sinuses have been lovely, so that's why I know I'm going to start now and get it over with. So I'll let you all get some time to kind of come on in here. I don't know why I said that time, but I apologize with it having the wrong time in. And so what I'm going to do is, as this is a twin flame connection reading, I'm doing both of them. I've seen some other things that was going on in some other readings, and Benita, I call my reporter on the street, had given me some information too about what was currently going on with the connection, and so I wanted to tap in and to see my overall energies as to what's going on. Um, Interesting enough, the first thing that starts off is the overarching energies that source says they want us to kind of deal with. Okay, I'll do that later. Thank you. Um, is our intuition and empathy. Now, the two things that I got off from it was that understanding that we've got to right now, um, us that are being empaths, this is the time now that we truly have got to get ourselves in alignment with our intuition about what's going on. Because I just watched the video and the young man was talking about that we had what the new moon and the 20th was about, um, was talking about how strong the energies were and how we have to deal with our understanding of how to be able to deal with these strong energies that's coming on, that because you got the Leo, which is again dealing with matters of the heart, and then you also have the Aquarius thing, energies that we have here, which is always about thinking outside of the box, being innovative, being very different. And right now, currently, with the energies that's being brought to us, is to think about how we can do things much differently, thinking outside of the box as far as what we're doing and being empathic. There's a lot of things why they're asking us to rely upon ourselves intuitively is because there's a lot of things shifting and growing spiritually for us underneath the surface. I'm being drawn from this card here, which is the lotus flower here, and the lotus here, which is again, in order for us to blossom and bloom, we have to understand that we have to get a deeper connection with ourselves. We have to get a deeper understanding, especially when we got this green here, which is again matters of the heart again. And we got to rely on downloads to help us to understand, especially when we're talking about this connection when it comes to matters of love. So for the divine feminine energies, your overall energies that you're dealing with is moving into the energies of strategy, which is letting me know that again, that you are now seeing that, hey, stuff that maybe I was doing earlier was not working. I've got to try a new way of going about doing this stuff. Some of you all might need to, getting drawn off of that, I'm seeing say journal key, might need to do something where you are actually tangibly are doing something to create this shift in the physical, which means like either treasure mapping or doing the maps that you can be able to like to actually do. My losing my thinking about that, but we call it treasure map and vision boards. Thank you. So you might have to actually vision boards this, or either journal it, or either actively step out step by doing this. Spirit is saying no winging, no winging it, but at least when you get these intuition, these downloads that spirit give you, you can be able to actually write it down, because you know spirit talks fast. You might say, oh, I'm gonna remember, and the next day something happens that upsets you, and then you forget what the heck you had actually said. So that was good with spirit involved me. Now what the hell did it say? What the hell did it say? I forgot. Hey, Divine. Hey, Charm Timeless. Yeah, oh, good. Divinely Guided Speech. She says she's journaling now. Very good. So we need to be able to do that. And they're saying we got to do this and be more concrete in doing this, because we're moving. The heart of the matter is, when we're talking about this, is understanding about this true love thing. Now, this true love thing does not have to be just about the connection with the it's several layers to it. It's not just only with the getting with your divine partner, but it's also understanding that you are getting in alignment with things that you truly love. Okay. And so in doing that, that's helping you to put yourself first, because divine feminine energies, we know that we have a habit of, we put everybody first, before us. And that is when we're talking about empaths. That's interesting with Angel, that's going to be here Friday, talking to us about the opposite of narcissistic. And a narcissistic relationship is the empath. What's the two differences of those variances for energies? Narcissists put themselves first. Empaths put themselves last. Everybody else before me. I think of like a line of people. No, go on ahead, go on ahead. I'm still looking. No, go ahead. No, you look like you're in a hurry. You look like you can get there. You need to get there faster than us, or you really got a purpose. I don't know what it is. I'm still looking on the menu. I'm still trying to make my choices as to what I'm gonna do in life. I'm still trying to find my mission and purpose. So you go on ahead. You go ahead for you. Before you know, when you're ready, you way back there in line. You let so many people in front of you, uh, in several aspects of it. And so this is what they're saying about this. By doing that, again, is helping you to put yourself first. And this is also in the romantic things, because what's going on now, again, in your empathy of really truly feeling and understanding, how does this being empathic benefits you, instead of saying, in some of ways, I'm picking up some of you all saying this is like a curse in some ways, because you've got all this feeling natures, being able to feel all this stuff and feel other bodies feelings. And because you're being able to do that, sometimes you have a tendency to say, oh no, I feel and they really want to do this. Like I say, you go on ahead before me. Then that pushed me back, because I'm not honoring my own self. That's why I say it's about you really truly getting in love with self and understanding who is the true lover. The true lover is you. Your other person is just nothing but a reflection of an aspect of you. And so this is what you need to get yourself into alignment with, because again, by doing this energies that they want you to really strategize about how you could truly get things down, pat and anchored. Because again, you are getting to the energies, understanding that you are a treasure chest, divine feminine energies. Emotionally, in this connection, you're understanding how worthy, your value. This is where you move it into. Like, hey, as you're opening up yourself and you're getting in touch with things and doing things out there, and getting in touch with your hopes and wishes and lining with that, it's helping to let the love flow within you as well. Although you're moving at a snail's pace, you're taking your time as you go about doing that, but you need to do that because you want to make sure no stone is left unturned. And you want to make sure through this process you understand that, because that's interesting. The next thing is understanding the building blocks. You want to make sure that you don't do this in a hurry, like one of my students told me today. Miss Boogie, you getting impatient. You got to wait for all the students to come on and make sure they sign in, and make sure that they think in their ideas and their thoughts and their answer to it. You're rushing them too fast, and you don't want to do that in divine feminine. I think in some ways we are kind of in that field. I guess spirit was like, wait, let them process. So again, some of us are at that point that we are really understanding the process of building and making sure we're building a very sturdy and found and solid foundation as we're doing this, and are really honoring ourselves, and remember how divine we are as we're building these blocks too. Okay, so that is a very important thing that we are understanding about the strategies that we're using, that we are building, because once we become the very divine lover of ourselves, we can be able to present that to our divine lover or our counterpart, or whoever it is, or this thing that you really feel that you're in love, that you really want to have. But we talk about the connection, so we're going to keep it that way in this one thing, because I learned that even being in a meeting the other day, And we were trying to really simply just tell the person, hey, they's like, what do we do? Do we come to work tomorrow? Do we do remote? Are we showing in person? What's going on? And, everybody was trying to tell them in so many words, whatever you feel right, you do. And this person was like, okay, so am I showing up Monday or I'm not showing up? I'm not too sure. And we was like, right now, because of the circumstances that's going on with us in Chicago, I don't know if you're familiarized with Chicago land and with the teachers, we were like, listen here, we can't really tell you don't come to work or do come to work. It's whatever you feel that's right for you right now. But she wanted some definite answers. And I was like, listen, simply put, the man told us what to do. You either do whatever you was doing Friday, do it again. If that's where you was at home, you was at home. If you were doing remote, you was doing remote. So do what you were doing Friday. Okay. So what am I supposed to be doing Monday? I'm like, listen here, it's real simple. Go into your heart and see what does it tell you to do. That's one of the examples that Spirit's trying to say. She kept on looking for us to tell her to do, to take off or not to take off. But that's not really left up to us, because you have to, in your point, the new saying they were telling us, like, you have to choose life. What feels good for you? On this twin flame journey, everybody is not doing the same. Everybody has to do something differently that fits them. Now, us as readers or us as leaders here are really pretty much just kind of giving you the overall things. It's like, for me, on my channel, I can just say, I usually just tell you what I'm doing. Now, it may resonate with you, it may not, that does not, but I'm not saying, hey, you've got to do this, because everybody's thing is different. Okay. So now what Spirit is saying for the divine feminine energies of understanding, that I'm just going to keep on and then I'll wait for feeling and thinking later. When it comes to the connection, Source is saying, wait, the timing is not quite right. Okay. And then it's also saying, when it comes to this connection, healing, old wounds and childhood issues need revisiting. Now, I thought about this again, and this is a hot topic on this show, especially when you talk about weight. I've had people tell me, I love what you're doing, but I can't stay and resonate with that because, hey, you telling me to wait, I'm not going to do that. Going back to again what's happening with and I'm reading Eckhart Tolle and Understanding the Power of Now. Understanding again, when we're talking about, and I call it a new term now to me, is actively waiting. When you're actively waiting, which means that you're doing your own thing. You're not sitting there twiddling your thumbs, wondering when they're coming or whatever. You have set forth the intentions that you want to be with your person, or if you want to even say with your person or even someone better, okay, or for your highest good. Those things there, you have set forth the intention, and you go about and be, and just be. I'm like Mel that passed away that said, let's not make the process of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich much difficult than what it is. Let's keep it simple. Okay. So again, you go on ahead and you trust Source comes up with your answer as far as what you want. Right now, some of you all, and we had handled that on the playground experience, saying about the divine feminine, and saying some of them are getting angry. Some of these new wavers, he's not coming. Oh, well, forget him. I'm gonna do me. It's okay for you to say that again, but like I said, watch the verbiage, watch the ego, how it creeps in and is in there to protect you, and how you are building upon these again old wounds and childhood issues that you're having, that you're not able to see beyond what is truly meant for you, or what's truly Source is trying to give you or set up for you. Okay, so again, there's some healing that has to be done, because again, your ego is there to protect you, is protecting you, is maybe even misconstruing you or making you be a little off of what you're actually seeing about, or the ability to be able to wait. Again, actively waiting. Again, if this is again, I'm speaking for those of wanting the union with their person, understanding, yes, they have done those things. There's some things that they got to work on, and you have to work on too as well. But again, there is some healing that has to be, according to Source, why you don't see anything actively happening or turning or occurring right now with your person, is because they're saying, wait a second, let's stop it before, let's stop it. Don't wreck you. Let's stop it before you wreck yourself. Okay. So this is something that's what's going on now for divine feminine. So you see no activity, no communication, something's kind of slowed down a little bit. This might not resonate for all, resonate for some. This is a reason, or you are doing every communicating, but it's not as much on the regular like it usually do. Sources giving you the explanation as to why, what's going on with that, because there's some healing that still has to go on the part of divine feminine energies. That's what they're talking about, what's happening below the surface as well, understanding your role. Okay, for the divine masculine, I'm gonna jump over to his side. The divine masculine, his overall thing is thinking. Now, when I pulled this out, the first thing was saying that the divine masculine is thinking about his divine feminine. Why? Because the divine feminine is busy thinking, doing her ascension work, working on herself, ascending, going up higher, getting more knowledge about some things, trying to be in her heart space because she's got the color green on. And you see this butterfly here busy about transforming herself. Again, we got the number 47 there. Again, grounded and rooted, and understanding 7 is spiritual completion. Those are the things there. And so because she's thinking of herself, guess what? That causes the divine masculine to start thinking about her. That's what we're talking about, those things. One of my kids told me, said, this book of today is opposition day. This is opposite day. I was like, what? He said, yeah, it's National Opposite Day. So again, if you're doing that, you're causing the thing to happen for him to occur, to start thinking about you because you're thinking about yourself. That's what we're saying. Which by doing that for the divine masculine energies in there, is helping him to understand that it is safe to love. Okay. He's understanding within his emotional self. He's getting ready again for freedom to ride off, because spirit is helping him to be able to go the distance. He understands even in his thinking, he wants to be able to take uh, by foot, which means when he's doing things by foot or surveying by foot, he is really taking his time step by step in order to make sure that things occur in the way that they're supposed to. Okay. And so by the feminine, his emotions going ahead, and the divine feminine going ahead and really saying, okay, this is what I see, before he comes there, because she's in the leadership role again, is going to help him to understand, as he's going in by foot, is already, the divine feminine has already set some things already in place, helping him to understand about what are some pitfalls or what things to look out for. So he is picking this up from the divine feminine because she's laying out the plan for him. Okay. So now this is helping him to understand that, hey, some of the divine masculines are getting to the point that they're saying, hey, I got to clean up some stuff. Chop wood. It's some dead wood in this house. It's some dead wood where they are, that they call home, that they have got to get rid of. That would be people, person, place, or thing. Those are the things that he's filling up. There's some dust. There's some things that have been laying there dormant, that he has been collecting dust, that he has not been trying to even concern himself with cleaning up. And now it's coming to him saying, you know what? I think I better start dealing with this now. It's a little too much dust gathering in the corners here. So I think I better start dealing with this. Okay. So this is causing for the divine masculine to get passionate about this cleaning up there too. Try something you've never done before. This is again because of the divine feminine being in the role of the catalyst, is saying, hey, something's not right, I need to try something else. This is going back to the overarching theme or energies with intuition, helping them to get in alignment. The downloads are coming with the divine masculine, and he's now getting the message. Okay. He is also being more empathic too. He's getting some empathy. He's being empathic. He's more feeling of nature to things and matters of the heart for him. Now I know Benita has showed me that some of them are getting to the point they're doing that because they're saying some of them are really speaking their peace with the people that they're around them, and they're getting scared. The people around them like, well, who is this? Who is this coming here? They snap me up. They're taking names and numbers and all that stuff later. They ain't even caring about what's going on. They just spilling out all this stuff to people in their circle. This is divine masculine because they feeling like they can feel in this way because of the foundation that the divine feminine has laid down for them. So now they're becoming passionate. The rejection thing. They're again, they're around some things that they're rejecting things. I'm getting several levels to that. Some of them are rejecting some things because again, they're trying to divinely protect themselves, the divineness that they feel in, this new energy, this new attitude that they're having, that they're knowing that they're much more and how unique they are. There also some things that being rejected by the divine masculine as well, because divine or source is saying they are protecting them too as well. So there's some things getting kind of like pushed away. Okay, some they got also here on the connection here, we have some distance will help bring clarity. So that goes back to the divine feminine. Now this is what the divine masculine doing on his end. Some of them have been maybe pulling apart, maybe the connection and the communication has not been strong. This is the reason, because of that. They know that right now you need to be busy continually healing up wounds and childhood wounds issues too, which is calling, hey Eminem 888, which is causing them to also do that as well, causing them for the healing of wounds for them within themselves, and saying, okay, I'm rejecting things. It's a time apart. I'm getting in several layers on that. Time apart also means time apart with the people that they're around too. So that could go any person, place, or thing, karmic issues, whatever it is, third energies, whatever, fourth energies, whatever. So this is where the divine masculines are as far as in this connection too. There might be some time apart from you as well, and they feeling maybe time apart is just all around, period, for everybody to experience that with the divine masculine, because they're working on some things. Okay, but however, he's telling me still, the divine master said, I've been thinking, because I can hear the song, I've been thinking about you. Okay, so he still, all of this is because again, the divine feminine has been strongly on his mind. Why? Because you have been doing the work. You have been strongly concentrating on yourself, getting your grind, getting your purpose, getting your things together, which is causing him to draw towards you, which is saying, I gotta get my stuff together. Okay, so now, how is the divine feminine energy feeling right now, currently in the connection, twin flames collectively about it? Blameworthy, responsible, at fault. I think that the divine feminine right now, when we're talking about this guilt here, when we're talking about the loyalty, some of the divine feminines are feeling a little, it's several layers to it, they're feeling guilty about being loyal to the twin flame journey. That's one thing. Some of them are feeling guilty about, they're feeling the guilt of maybe even the masculine as well. I'm feeling also just the guilt also from these childhood wounds is also playing a part too. That's what they're saying about this Leo energies is bringing up all of the stuff that's been deep down, pushed down too as well. Some of the divine feminists again are afraid. They're afraid of like what is to come next. They're afraid of these strategies of them not coming true into fruition. Some other things that is afraid of, like really seeing beyond even the having the connection with the divine masculine as well. In their thinking, the divine feminine has got to get into resonating of understanding of this energies here about this. How are they looking at things, the illusions of things, how they're seeing themselves in there, and and reflected in the world that they're in, and is this part of an illusion as well? How are they playing these tunes, are playing up to other people, outside people in their world as well, because I see the can't here. So we now moving out of that 3D illusion and really truly moving into the space in which source wants them to, which is understanding that again, it's all about the intuition and the your intuitiveness and your being awakened, especially as an empath, because you truly are now, they say in this time now, are becoming more empathic more than ever. So I would say for the divine master, for him, he's learning how to be able to be more defensive of that empathicness. He didn't understand what that, excuse me, he didn't know what that energy was. So he's learning. I've got to protect this. Everybody, especially as a divine master, a lot of times, everybody, empathic period, divine masculine or not, are always attracted to that light. You got to get to the point that you kind of shield that. Beforehand, it was like, yeah, you could come, because it was coming from a place of ego with the divine masculine. I like, oh, they attracted to me, oh, they like me, this X, Y, and Z. But not knowing that, again, some of them are coming in for good, bad, and the ugly, in their usage of that. And so understanding he's getting to the point of him being able to see, and like I'm hearing saying, I got the power. You got the power, but then at the same time understanding that I've got to be shielding my energies too as well. The divine feminine is understanding, okay, I already know what to do with the empathy with the energies that I have. Now I got to really truly strategize it. I think that the divine feminine up until now has not, I don't like the way to say careless, but has been a little bit more free forming with it. Let's put it that way. And now she's understanding I got to really truly start honing in my talent or my gift of being empathetic and really actually putting it to use to something. Okay. So right here we have here again, this is to be is the earth card here. This is nine of earth. And this is again, how is she looking and viewing her world? This is what I'm seeing too. At the point that she's doing it, that she's really got, I'm seeing a little man here, which is like, he's like, oh, like, really at the point that it might even seem as if she is what the divine master is saying, rejection, might be rejected, but she's saying, no, right now I'm busy trying to get my world together and strategize right where I am. This is what's going on with the divine feminine here. I'm also seeing her learning how to be able to relax with the skin. Like I said, I'm loving the skin I'm in. Finding those relaxation times too. This is what she's thinking about. Okay, I work, but I learn how to relax, because at this time it's just a lot of work, 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 as Rihanna says. But she's finding time in the 3D for her to be able to relax, have that relaxation time. For the divine feminine, also in the 3D, in her thinking, in her mind space, she's thinking as far as well as she's got to watch it. When I look at this here, knave of earth here, that she's not so religious or so pious. I'm getting piousness. Watch in the way, hey Kelly, watch in the way that you're doing things, that you're not doing it at the point that it's religious. It's like a 1, 2, and 3. If you're doing intuition, some of that stuff, divine feminines, you're going to have to leave that religion or that those ways. Religion means a belief system that's built in systematic or ideologies. You're going to have to leave that over to the side, because that's not going to help you. Some of it is going to keep you in your mind space. It's not going to help you to stay in your heart space. And it's not going to let you be open and receptive to this, because this divine walk, let's be honest about this twin flame journey. It is something that, again, that is like the Aquarius energies, that's outside of the box. And so we have to find a way in which we're able to deal with that and do that in a way in which is different than what we know, especially when we're dealing with the ideas and the understanding and philosophy from what we've been trained from the world. Okay, so this is also with the divine feminine here, is that I see her riding. So to me, it looks like to be that she's getting used to getting her freedom, how to be free in the 3D world as well. This is how she's thinking. Like, how can I know I'm spiritual, but how can I actually be able to properly be able to engage? I'm hearing properly to be able to ride through this thing, like as some of us, like in not knowing how to ride horses, how you would be able to do that and not fall off of the horse, not fall off of your freedom, like steadily stay on and be able to ride. This looks like a person who's been professionally been doing this, trains for this. Okay, so now I've been training for this through things that have happened to me, through experiences in the world. Now I'm not need to be able to, I'm not see her moving the gate, to be able to remove some of those limitations, so some of those obstacles, so I can be able to do what I've been trained to do, which is again to be able to ride my freedom, to be in my freedom, to be comfortable in it. Okay, that's one thing. For the divine masculine, in his thinking, or not in his thinking, in his feeling, in the divine masculine energies, there has been a lot of things. The first thing I pulled was panicky. He had been panicky when it had been coming into his emotions. So the divine masculine energies has been especially when you're talking about relying on intuition and being empathic. It had been something that had been taking over him emotionally. He had been alarmed by anxious, and it had been putting him in that fight or flight kind of mode. Um, he's feeling right now as it is in his feeling that we got smashed and hateful. And some things again are like a rejection again, how to reject things that no longer serve him. This is where he is right now. The divine masculine energies as well, and really getting rid of, he's vengeful, hostile. It's some divine masculines that are still dealing with that hostility about what had been done to me, and so I'm going to be revengeful and do this to you. There are some of them that's there, but majority of them are trying. I'm feeling like them saying, "I'm trying to stamp and punch this out, this type of energy out of my heart because it cannot resonate." Especially with what he wants. So that's why he's saying, I'm dealing with some things, some time apart to get him some clarity on some things and this rejection and really truly getting some true passion about some things. He is also relieved as well here. He feels like, again, he was kind of up high and needed to be rescued. The divine feminine has kind of helped again with that energy of helping him to get clarity, to understand that it's no more waiting on somebody to rescue you. It's you. Source has given him a new lease, semi on life. And then we also have here, which is again in his emotions, in his childhood. He's really trying to go about doing this in a different way. He's got some new knowledge about that. How did he get the new knowledge? From the divine feminine. Okay. He feels like right now he's trying to be respectful of all of the parties and things and energies that he is dealing with, including you, divine feminine, when it comes to this connection. He feels like at this time, some of you all, they had not had respect for you. Okay, but now they are having respect for the work that you're doing because they're seeing how it's benefiting them as well. And so in that, I feel like you said, I can bow down to you in reverence now because you have earned my respect. Okay. And also, he's now thinking about after all of this, now he is also feeling regretful in his emotions still about some of the thing and the pain that he has put the divine feminine energies in. And I'm hearing them also saying, also maybe even the third party of the karmic situations that they are in, person, place, or thing. They're regretful about that because they had the image. Some of their images has got to be torn. That goes like the ego, tearing down the ego, rebuilding back up again, and really the death of the ego and starting back over again, having a healthy outlook on things. In their thinking, the divine masculine energies is also thing about, again, he's really, you riding, this is interesting. You riding it, but you like, I'm riding this with the divine feminine is riding that. She's been trained. To me, this is control. It's like I'm doing it in a very proper way, very trained. This here is like abandonment. He's like, I don't give a how I'm gonna get out of this, but I'm gonna come ride a cowboy any way I can as far as when it comes to the world, even though I got to shoot him up to get what I am. So again, both the divine feminine and divine masculine are getting their freedom in different ways of how they're going about this, or how they're riding about in life. One of us in the control thing, really understand it's a process, building it. This is now for the divine masculine. They're doing it with abandonment. Why? Because when it came to the divine masculine energies, they have been the ones that have been kind of doing the control. Like, no, she can't have my heart. You see them pulling back. It's all about control. Now it's just like, no, when it comes to the world here, they're saying now when it comes to the connection, they're going to do it with abandonment. It's no more with riding with the training wheels on. Okay. Also understanding that he understands that here we got knave of fire in his actions. He's got to really look and go about it and really seeing how he can go about healing some things. I see like this doctor and really seeing how he can work on himself and seeing what's the diagnosis about what's actually going on. Because Beforehand, he wasn't really looking into anything like that. He's like, ain't nothing wrong with me. But now he's saying, hey, something's not quite going right. And I really need to kind of self-diagnose about like what is going on and why things aren't coming together. Like I see the divine feminine energies. It's something that I'm actually doing. So he understands right now there is a concern here. I'm hearing like paging Dr. Will Robinson or whatever like that, that he's understanding that it's undeveloped, but he's understanding that there's some action that he's got to take, and he's got to really start looking at what's the prescription he needs to give himself or how he can be able to cure this. Okay. Also, he feels in his emotions here that his emotions is ready to go, but something about him and his divine masculine energies and his thinking, he's quite not all the way 100% there yet. Especially when it comes to matters in the material things. Spiritually, he's like, yeah, we ready to go. We ready to make turn over things, start this new beginning, that part there. But he feels in some ways, when it comes to women, I'm picking this up too, it's a part of them that's not too feeling too comfortable to be engaged with it. This is a few, not all of them. It still makes them kind of like freeze up, you know, any type of emotions that's really overly expressive. For some of them is like don't touch me. I'm not ready. I don't know what to actually do with that, you know. And so this is something that again he's got to get this into this passion and be okay with this passion of doing something that he's never done before. And you know, again, and not to reject it, because this is just like a person like, oh, okay, oh, that's what we're doing. So he needs to get into that. The overall and the bottom of it again is this again this resistance here, wanting to move the horse. That goes back to the horse, but again, there's a little stubbornness this with this. And the divine masculine, when I looked at this at the bottom of it, he wants the freedom, but in order for you to do that, you've got to be able to release and to let go. Okay. All right then. So now just real quickly, let's look and see what is going on. Clear. For the divine feminine in the 3D, let's check into the world. What's going on as far as this connection? What's going on with the divine feminines? Okay, there's quite a bit here. Okay. And what's going on? Woohoo, stop. With the divine masculine. Almost was divine truth. When it comes to this connection in the 3D. Okay. So the divine feminine feels like she's got to submerge herself into her, this is water, into her emotions, okay, in order for her to get union with self, okay? She feels like it's suspended. Where that goes back to what did we say earlier, what? So I said you got to wait. So you're right, you are suspended. But again, this is almost like the hangman card. You got to watch your perspective on things, you know. It could be this here, like she's sitting on top of the rope or the cloth, or it could be again, it's got the better of her. It's all in perspective. Okay. If things are suspended, then again, like I say, be actively waiting. Okay. I got a positive spin with it. I'm just doing my own thing about how until things come together actively. That's fine. Or and I already put my intentions with spirit. Spirit say they're going to go ahead and fulfill my order. That's all I'm doing. Or do you feel like, oh my God, life got I'm on top of life, or life got me? It's either way as far as when you're talking about the connection. Right now, the divine feminine feels like she's got some choices, but she understands here this is almost like the Seven of Cups. There's only one choice, one door that's going to lead her to her happiness or to union. Okay. She understands she's waiting for things to climax. Okay. This is the climax as far as getting union, as far as coming in, everything coming together. That's what union means, coming in together and truly having her bliss there. She understands we got the bitch card here, which to me is again, it's just dealing with that shadow, that goes that hurt, that ego that comes in that acts like it's protecting you, and it's barking at barking orders at you, is barking orders at everybody else because it's just trying to protect you from being hurt here. Understanding we've got to deal with that part there. That's it kind of creeps out every now and then. Everybody's got an ego, but you know, we got to watch how the ego, we let the ego go ahead and run the show. Okay. Understand she's seeing a lot of, this is that card. She's seeing synchronicities. The divine feminine is seeing a lot of synchronicities occurring and happening as far as when it comes to this connection and union. I watch what's her name, the white paranormal white witch, and she was saying that it's very important right now for you to anchor down into union energies right now. Union energies. Hey Sabrina. Hey Sabrina Elizabeth. Hey. So it's very important in which that you anchor down into that. Okay, especially you wanting that for the divine masculine energies. What's happening in the 3D right now is he's saying dating. He's really thinking about, when I've seen this come out, it's like a really about having some time spent with the divine feminine. Okay, that's really on his mind too. Okay, tea for two or drinks, whatever it is. Okay, that's nice. Oh, what is kind of look like it's got a mint into it. Okay, like a mint is a special kind of thing, like a it's a mojito semi because it got some mint or something in there. He understands also in the 3D world, this is what he wants to happen in 3D world. He also understands that he needs to air out some dirty laundry. He got to get rid of this. It's time, it's cleaning time. He said that earlier. Said this earlier with the chopped wood. Okay. He understands that again, this fling here. Fling means again something temporary, something not so permanent. Understanding that right now what he's in is a temporary. I'm hearing to say it's a temporary fix. It's temporary. Okay. And it's just a fling. It's nothing serious. Most time we say, what is going on here? And they say, it's just a fling. It ain't nothing serious. This is where he's understanding now of where he is, where he's playing around with something, and as a person plays a thing, he understands now what its true identity is. Just like the divine feminine is understanding what's really true love. Okay. This is what's going on here. And so now he's really looking for nirvana. Like, really, what is that true thing that puts me in a place of bliss? Notice that it's a woman, and notice that it has all different kind of colors. So again, what will put him in true nirvana, the higher state, that bliss, by just really truly just going around in circles, and like kids do, they be in nirvana and they spinning, 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 and they just drop and they just giggling there. Understanding that again, this is again their emotions is the doorway to help them to get into nirvana, because again, their emotions, that's a doorway to the pathway to the heart, which is divine, which is where the home and the residency of the twin flames reside. And so this is one way in which they'll be able to do that again, is concentrating on the divine feminine energies within, well, so as without. Okay, this is where they are here for the journey, for the divine clear, for the divine feminine collectives on this in the connection, about the connection. This kind of gets me. Okay, so some of you all have been thinking about reaching out to your other counterpart, but then you stopped yourself. Okay, and I would say, almost going back to that, you're kind of right about that. You know, again, just kind of wait. The timing is not right. You need to heal some things. So if that has been going on with you, then yes, that it's a reason behind that why you had not went on ahead and carried through with that idea. So okay. Next, for the divine masculine here, there are still so many unsaid things between us. This is what he's saying. This is a message for the divine masculine to the divine feminine. And I just got caught up in the moment. Okay. There's some things about that guilt that happened. The divine masculine also in him needing to be present. I would say that too. He getting caught up. He might have had some incidents that here lately that he might have gotten caught up, and he might not have acted in a way that might have been maybe honorable or respectful to your connection. And that might be one of the reasons why you maybe had not heard from your person as well. I'm picking up that too. but he understands that he's talking about the past. Some of them are talking about the past too, about what had actually had happened and transpired. And he's just saying, you know what, I'm still thinking about that as well. That goes back to this card about guilt that we talked about earlier. The divine feminine, it was feeling the guilt of the divine masculine. Okay, so now the shadow aspect of which the divine feminine is working on is blinded by the pain. That makes sense. That goes back again to what? About healing old childhood wounds where you're not able to see beyond that. Old wounds and childhood wounds. You need to revisit that so you can be able to see. Okay. For the divine masculine, what's going on? What's the shadow that they're dealing with collectively as far as in this connection? Guilted by regret. Okay, so some of them, this is heavy. This came back out again, which is not allowing him to be able to get the downloads. That's why I say you got to open up and rely on your intuition. For some of them, that shadow is still there. They might be moving out, but at the same time, they're questioning themselves as they're moving out and stepping on into new territory because still this regret is still playing underneath. Also saying, I won't cry for you. So some things here for the divine masculine here that he still got to deal with. He's still trying to be tough. He's still trying to be mannish. He's still trying to not show any of the vulnerability that he is needed in order to do that. But it's to me, when I see the eyes here and this blood coming, you hurting your own self in the process. So in order for you to truly understand that there's some things that you got to clean up and it is safe for you to love, as it says here, you got to let some of those things go. This divine masculine feels like people are, and I started to say that, and I'm so glad the spirit had brought this back out again because this did look like somebody, but that wasn't like the card said. Could be a parasite too. This could be also a woman, and which is really feeding off of the divine masculine energies too, as well as, like I say, empathic. And he's no longer feeling comfortable. He's like, I don't know what to do with this, but I don't feel like I want to keep on being here. He got like a face like if I could run, I would. Okay, so there's some parasite energies that's going on. And that's what I said about the shadows. He's now in some ways feeling this and understanding this because that's why he's saying, I know I'm empathic. I understand I've been the light. People have been attracted to it like a moth to a flame, and I've got to start defending myself. But he understands also in the shadows, his shadow aspect is that he's fragmented. He's got to heal the divine masculine energies there because that is the key. So the divine masculine energies of the chakras that are found down below will be being grounded and rooted, especially about in his ideologies and his belief systems, understanding in the sacral, which would be again about how he's manifested things and having healthy relationships and moving his way up into the stomach area, which is be the solar plexus, which is him having his standing in his authority, having his own power, really understanding that also having boundaries, healthy boundaries to say my no means no, full stop. That's something that he's got to work with. The divine masculine, the divine feminine energies and divine masculine. Let's look and see what some life changes clear that needs to occur in the connection or will be occurring right now, according to source. What are some life changes? Sobriety. That means you got to get to a point that the things that you were doing before, you cannot be continuously doing or participating in anymore, especially when it comes to the identity of who you are, because we got the solar plexus here, which is yellow. Okay, well, you standing in your authority. If those things are not helping you and you're participating in, you got to cut cold turkey. Because again, you're getting the downloads to give you information about things, and then also again it's helping you to stay in your heart space when you have sobriety. I think about the 12-step program that they have there, and they were talking about the different things that you have to do. You can also apply this in, like they say, a strategy as far as how you need to heal things, how you need to change things too as well. So look that up. It might be a far stretch, but you'll find out the good steps that they use for the AA is also good things that you can apply even into life as well, the spiritual walk as far as that. Also, when we're talking about the divine, when we're talking about changes for the divine masculine. I don't know what made me put the cards up for that. Here we go. He's got to learn, again, changing your mind. Changing your mind is important, divine master, especially for this connection of wanting union. Here, you got to change your mind. You got to get more grounded and rooted in stuff. It's more than ever before, because this is going to help you to be able to stand in your power and to your authority as to who you are. It's going to transform that. By that, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is what they're talking about. You got to change your emotions too as well. That kind of came out too. Got to try something different. You got to become, and this is like a transparent to me. He's kind of transparent. You got to become transparent, divine masculine energies, so you can really get into your bliss, because this is pink. Okay. And then understanding it's the end of an era. Some things has got to come to an end. It's a closing of a chapter that needs to happen. And we talked about that earlier too. That some things had to come to an end. And you know this and you feel it. Okay. So specifically, what is some a strategy that source said that you need to use, divine feminine? Clear at this moment with the current energies. Says you need to listen. Okay. This is the source. Listen. So things could come in bloom. You need to be able to find the joy in things as well. I know I've seen that in the power now, saying that some of us have a hard time to be fulfilled because we're always thinking about what's happening in the past, what's happening in the future, but we're not finding the fulfillment in the now. So I would strongly suggest that again, that every day when you're doing things, that you are able to find just the joy in doing things, just the littlest of things that you're doing. Okay. They said also detach and move on. Again, like I said, set the intentions, detach from it what you want from in this connection, and then keep it moving. That's what it means to be actively waiting. It's not, I'm talking about waiting and sitting there on your bum, twiddling your thumbs, and then you're like, okay, I'm waiting for him. I wouldn't dare even say that. Hey, Ma, I wouldn't dare even say that to anybody, because I know I'm not doing that. I'm busy on my grind. Again, from why it is important for you to do that, because when you're on your grind for things and you're in your mission and your purpose, is because of doing things. It helps you to stay present. And when you stay present, you're not thinking about what's happening in the past with the person and then making yourself depressed, and you're not thinking about what should be happening in the future and making yourself anxious. You're just staying present. That's what they're telling you to do, to detach and to move, divine feminines. For the divine masculines, what are they telling you to? Chop it up to the divine timing. Again, everything is going to come together. You just got to, again, apply divine timing to things. That's what they were saying about earlier here, the time apart. Because distance brings clarity. Okay. And that's needed at this time, because right now you're just learning divine masculine. Divine feminine been there, done that. Okay. But in order for you to do that, you don't need distractions. You know, it sounds like my dad. My dad had told me that. He's like, you can't be doing 2 or 3 different things there, because you got to concentrate on one thing. Otherwise, something's going to get left. Some you ain't going to cross the T's and dot the I's on something. Clear. So I don't suggest you do that. So the overall advice that Source gives for the connection is what? The overall energies here is, again, saying feeling negative emotion means I'm launching requests. Okay, so as more people observe hardship and strike a tense, resistant pose, didn't resistant come out? Not that one. I'm panicky. Where's resistant? I just had it. He around here somewhere. No, that's afraid, guilty, afraid. Ta, 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 ta. Well, you seen it early. You see early. You know you seen resistant. Here we go. Watch the resistant on both sides. Poise. And therefore, then let me go back. As more people observe hardship and strike a tense, resistant pose, and therefore disallow their own well-being. Others use them as their reason to do the same. And in a very short time, a very negative pattern of resistance can sweep through your population. That means through your twin flame connection or through the twin flame collective. The good news in this scenario is that in every moment that every person is feeling negative emotion about about any kind of state, they say economic state or any state, vibrational requests for more abundance are launched. And those requests are heard clearly and responded to immediately by source. So again, watch your thinking. Your negative emotions breeds more negative emotions. Your positive emotions breeds more positive emotions. And the more that you request of positive things, the more things of abundance come. That was my message that I had on Instagram today about abundance and doing the job that is needed. Okay, so now whispers of love. Clear. Let's see what's the message for the divine feminine to the divine masculine in the collective. And the divine feminine wants to tell the divine masculine that consider your foundation. This is what we talked about earlier. You are being asked to look at how committed you are to love. Okay? And the divine masculine is telling the divine feminine what's their advice. Treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. Okay, so watch how you are again. Treasure your loved ones. The ones, again, they go to treasure. Where's that treasure thing? Where's the treasure? We had a treasure chest there. Treasure your loved ones. The loved one is you. That's what we had earlier. That's what he's telling you. Treasure your loved ones. And the loved one is you. So it can be able to open up to get your hopes and wishes and dreams there, to help the love to flow. And he's saying again too, just like you say, you're a snake, a turtle doing that. Take your time in doing that to reveal who you are. Okay. Also, clear. What do you need to heal from, divine feminines? Last thing, last message. What does your higher self say you need to heal from, divine feminines? Say that you need to believe. Here's your affirmation. I create my reality based on what I choose to believe. I never give up on dreams. And also it says, like attracts like. That's going back to what we was just talking about, your thinking, divine feminines. Here we have, my energetic frequency determines my experience. Then we just talk about that, divine feminines, in the overall for the relationships, about the connection, the relationship advice from source. Okay. And for the divine masculine energies, from their words, clear, from their higher self, collectively, they say they need to do what? Stop trying to control every damn thing. Let shit go, and don't be so extra. Again, this time here. So your thing is, I am seeing things clearly now. I understand that I don't always have to be in control, because source is guiding me to my highest good. Okay, that would be your affirmation, divine masculine. So you don't have to control everything. You're learning you don't have to control everything. Everything doesn't have to go your way. that you want it to go, divine masculine, understanding that you have to let stuff go. Okay. And don't be so extra. Extra to me, that means going into ego. You don't want to go into ego, the divine masculine energies here. Okay. In order, because when you do that to me, you have a tendency, like my dad said, you forget things. You forget the littlest things, the little details that you're supposed to be paying attention to. You forget all of that stuff. So that's why it is important for you to be able to just take your time in doing things. Okay. All right, then. That is the collective reading there. Thank you so very much for Hey Slave by My Light Williams. I love it. Thank you so very much for being here. Don't forget that this Friday we're going to have the lovely Miss Angel Simmons, who is a mentor, coach, all that good stuff. But she is the author of two books. One is a devotional as well, and then she's also a author about the topic of being a target of a narcissist relationship as well. So we're going to have that Friday. That's at 7:30. At 7:30 p.m. Make sure Central Time that you're here on the playground experience for you to be able to do that. Make sure that you go to, if you're interested, again, for definitely for the month of February, we are having so far I've gotten some good feedback too as well from the love letters. So if you want a love letter from your person to kind of keep you engaged and keep you saying I can keep on going, as you are, again, the spirit saying you have set the intentions and you are going on about your business and being, which is the equivalent and the equation of actively waiting, because you know it's going to give you what you want, your highest good. So you go to divineunisouls11.co and get your love letter there. That's for just $14 as well. And also make sure that you are clicking like and sharing this. When you hit the like button, all you're doing is saying I share with you, and you're saying thanks for sharing. That's all it is there. That's a quick energy exchange there as well for me pouring out these energies and taking time and making sure that you have the keys and understanding what's the energy like in the collective. Also, you want to make sure that you subscribe, because that's the way when I go live, you'll be able to get the information and notifications when I come on, because I go by spirit. The spirit tell me go on, I go on. If they don't, I don't. And so that is the ones that I am going. But yeah, I hear him say, yeah, but sometimes you hard headed, you still go on when I told you not to, or you still go on. But anyway, yes, that is true. Because I'm like, my people need him, my sunshine is needed as well. So again, make sure that you do that. Thank you so very much. I see somebody said something. Yeah, thank you, Eminem 888. Thank you as well. Make sure that those of you that hung out into the Sunshine Lounge, I want to make sure I go through here one more time. Thank you, M&M. Thank you, Slave by My Light, My Aunt, Sabrina, Kelly, the Lion and Kite It Speaks. Thank you so very much. And Charm Timers as well. Thank you so very much for being on here as well. And so until next time, I don't know what it is. I think I'm wanting to do a divine masculine to divine feminine next. I think I want to see what's the message that he has for that. So I will be probably touching upon that. Unless spirit tells me something else, but I feel kind of instinctively that's the next thing for me to do as well. All right, there is always stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste. Namago. Mwah. Love you. And I'll be talking to you real soon.